All right, boys, welcome to today's market recap. Today is November 4th, 2020, or 14th, 2025. I did not take a trade today. However, I wanted to make this because of the draw on liquidity and my daily buys. So I had a pretty neutral daily buys coming into this morning, even though we were in a pretty big downtrend. Due to the reason is we had an SMT right here with these lows, which was previous week lows. So this was essentially my condition. If we go to ES, here's the SMT, and if we go to the weekly, that is previous week lows right there. And I even had an alert set because this was my condition. So if I wanted to see a bullish bias coming into this morning, I would want to see this SMT get respected, and we ended up respecting it. However, I was leaning just a little bit more bearish, so that's why this was my condition. If ES ended up coming and sweeping out this low, and then we just displaced right through it, I was going to then just look for continuation shorts. What I wanted to see at market open was a open high into this 1 hour gap right here, and then there was also a 15-minute right above it with these like 5-minute just stacked highs right here. So I wanted to see an open high into there, and then maybe we can even catch like a PDI or a continuation down towards the sell side. And there was also this like weird looking candle, where is it, right here, that if we just started displacing through everything, all of these lows right here, we can then target that low and even this low right here. However, we opened low right at market open, and then we got this crazy 1 minute inversion right here. So this didn't look too bad. However, it was just a crazy breakaway gap. The trade idea would have looked something like this for like a PDI going bullish. We did have this accumulation zone. We did come out, sweep the sell side, still holding this previous week SMT, and then we got this crazy 1 minute IFVG. I did not take this because I was waiting on a retap of this inversion and then a rejection out of it. We didn't get that, and then I was then going to look for just a 5-minute continuation. We ended up hitting the hourly before I can get the continuation, so I was like, okay, we have this hourly, we have this 15-minute, and we have equilibrium above of this whole entire like leg down right here from like these highs up here all the way down here. So we had EQ resting right here, and I wanted to see how price reacted off this level, because at this point in time, I was still looking to take shorts. Maybe not all the way down towards like here, but maybe like these unfilled gaps, right? Whatever the case may be. However, at this point in time, let's just go on bar replay real quick. At this point in time, we just started displacing through everything. So I was like, okay, if we can get a tap into this 15-minute right here, I'll then look to take longs. There was this mech model that did present itself. However, we did not get a clean 1 minute inversion. There was a 30-second in here. We came up and tapped a 4 hour. Give me 1 second. Let me mark out the 4 hour for you. There was this tiny 4 hour for value gap right here. Here is the entry point towards it. Okay. So there's this tiny 4 hour gap. We edged it at first, and then we came up and tapped it, and then what did we do right after? We then reswept those highs, got a instant rejection out of it, but there was no inversion. There was a 30-second. However, I don't take 30 seconds just because my win rate tanks every time I take a 30-second. This did look super clean though. It did end up hitting this 5-minute gap right here, and we ended up creating an SMT at this 5-minute gap. So you would have just full closed that trade once ES took out that 5-minute. And I was then looking for continuation longs here towards these stacked highs and even London highs. And I believe at London highs there was a unfilled 4 hour gap. Yeah, there was. And there was an entry right here with both of these 1 minute inversions getting ran right through, but at this point in time, a 15-minute just opened up right here. So we then just opened a 15-minute for value gap right here. So what I wanted to see was, I wanted to see price come down, retap this 15-minute and tap the 5-minute, and then we can look for longs from there, because I did not want this 15-minute unfilled gap resting at my stop loss. And at this point in time, we started to generate a little bit of structure down, so I got a little bit excited, and then as soon as I opened my mouth, we just got this Drake to the upside, and then we just continued to go higher on the day, and we ended up taking out London without like a 5-minute retap. I would have took this 5-minute tap as well, just because of how bullish we are. I get it's super premium, but we were super bullish towards this unfilled gap and London highs, which were in the exact same spot, but we did not get a retap into there. got close, right? These candles wanted to come down, but we just continued higher. So that was it. So that's how I played both sides of the ball today. I wanted to take shorts. I originally wanted to see market open high into this like 15-minute gap right here and this 1 hour gap, but we just did not end up getting that. We ended up inversing the hourly back to the upside right here. And then, yeah, we ended up just essentially getting a 10 a.m. open low, but not into anything good. There was, again, this 1 minute inversion out of here, but I did not want this newly formed 15-minute fair value gap resting at my stop loss. And here's what it looked like on the 15-minute. It would have been resting directly at my stop loss, so we could have easily came down, tapped into it, and then just continue higher. But yeah, nothing really presented itself. It was a Friday, and then after that giant move up, we ended up moving up about like 400 points today. So after that, I just assumed we were just going to consolidate. So I'm not really looking for anything. But if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead, leave them in the comments, and then I will catch you boys on Monday.